Alright, welcome back to the channel. So the entrance plaza here for Northern Lights Zoo is coming along very, very nicely. I'm quite happy with it, but we have lights in the name and we have no lights in the zoo currently, so we need to get some in there. And we need to get our sign up as well. I think I'm just going to put it right on the railing here, and let's actually do that first. So I'm going to get in here into my construction, and first up in the row is our lettering. So using lettering isn't too much of a headache. Let's see, do I want this one? Or do I want is that one big enough, or do I want the bigger one? Let's see. Let's see what the bigger one looks like. Yeah, I think we'll go with the bigger one. So I'm actually going to build this out here, so that way I don't accidentally add it into a different group. You got your first letter selected, press X, grab your next letter. It'll automatically keep it in the same plane if you're only moving it along the red or the x-axis. Oh yeah. Sometimes that happens. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it'll automatically orient the letters to the world axis. And I forgot that I started on the opposite side of the map. Happens a lot. All right, let's get back to this and build this correctly. So pretty simple process, does take a little bit of time, but you can make a pretty decent looking, if you know, simple sign. And you can do different things like layering your letters, so you can select all of it, bring it up, move it over slightly to make like a relief. I'm not going to bother doing that. We're just going to have a standard little white, white lettering sign. And all these letters, they are flexi-color, so you can have them whatever color you want. I'm just going to leave it at white. Northern Lights. Zoo. There we go. I want to kind of like that. Nah, mostly like that. Okay, that works. Now what I want to do is grab all of this. Not the tree. Okay, just the lettering. I want to make it a group. Now, bring it over here. Spin it around. Get it actually straight. There we go. And we'll put it up on top of the building. Hopefully it fits. I have a distinct feeling it's not going to. Yeah, so this is... Oh, wait. Holy crap, it's perfect. Oh, it's perfect. Yes, it fits perfectly. Oh, this is great because I did not check. I did not check at all to see if this would actually fit. And it fits. Look at that. It fits. Sweet. Love it. All right. Northern Lights Zoo needs some lights. All right, what do we have? So I want some lamp posts to start. We are going to use the classical theme in here. Let's see. So I'm going to put one right there. Right there. Oop, not in the coach. Put it right there. And right there. Alright, let's see if we have anything else that kind of works in that area. Don't think so. There's some decorative lighting. Ooh. So we will definitely get some of that in here. One thing I might do while I'm playing with lighting is actually turn this to nighttime and see what it looks like at night. Ooh, I like the star. Because now I can get a good idea of how the lighting is going to work. Right now it's pretty basic. We do have the light up bear. Actually, I want another one of the light up bears. Where is he? I wish we had more of these. I wish we had more of these light up statues. They're awesome. Where is it? Seriously, where is it? It's bare and it lights up. Where is it? There it is. There he is. Okay. Where do I want to put it? You know what? Yeah, we're gonna put it up here. One right there. Flip it around. Maybe actually, spread these things out properly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's get more lighting. I need all the lighting. Let's light up the sign here. Is that gonna be too bright? No, I mean, it's bright, but it's not that oriented the right way. Ooh. I mean, it's quite bright, but I like it. What else we got in here? Got loads of string lights. Wait. European fairy lights. Okay. So this is gonna have to be a thing. Oh, they're small. All right. Yeah, these are gonna be a thing. Is that lined up? Oh, that's perfect. Okay, let's see what these look like. Oh, they are amazingly perfect. I want these like in my house in real life. I love string lighting. I have so much string lighting in my art studio in my bedroom. And I want this like I need a real life version of this. Like seriously, Frontier, I would pay money for this. Yeah, this is gonna be good. So because we do have lights in the name of Northern Lights Zoo, I do want lighting to be, something that I pay close attention to. I want it to, be a feature. Let's see. Oh, it's so cute. I like it. Okay, what else do we have? We have coffee, signs. Oh, here we go. We have our wall lights, our animal wall lights. So we need to get these in here. That one's the badger. Ooh, so nice. Oh, this is so nice. I love it. Where's our links? There's Lumi. that one over there. And we'll put that guy in the middle. Love it. Love it, love it. Get a few more. I think I need all of them. Yeah, that looks amazing. Looking great. So all these lighting options are just absolutely fantastic. Okay, so what else do we have? We need more lamp posts out here. One right there. Right there. And right there. And then... what else do we have? Decorative lighting. Let's stick a couple of these in here and see what they do. Yeah, that works. To just kind of loosely light this. Yeah, I like that. Nice. Very, very nice. I'm liking this. Yeah, this DLC pack is quite awesome. Nice. Alright, so now that we've done that, I do want to get an idea of what this is going to look like with snow, because I am going to want to feature some snow every now and then. So we will restart time. And have it start snowing here. I did go in and finish up our little staff building here just to give it, you know, some walls and a roof. It's fairly plain. I don't really decorate the interiors on these because it's, I don't know, it's just kind of a waste of pieces. Alright, so I want to see what this looks like in snow. I think it's going to be pretty nice. I'm going to think about putting in the first of the habitats. I'm thinking possibility of either king penguins or African penguins over here. But again, not real sure on that. Think on that. What's going to go over there? But I do want something right over here. And then going off this way, we're going to go up into European woods. I might call it the Black Forest area. That'll obviously feature the European animals, and then moving over this way it will be Rocky Mountain Wilds, Asian Highlands, and then finally Arctic Shores. So it'd be 4 major sections to the zoo. Right, so this is looking fabulous in the snow. Very, very nice. Alright, so let's get rid of the snow here. Then what I want to start to do is lay out the path system here. Alright, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take just the regular asphalt path. I'm going to bring it up to 8 meters because I find that's a nice width. Doesn't cause a lot of congestion or anything. And I want to be kind of judicious on where I start this path from. Like to get it right in the middle. That'll work. So why are we doing that? Okay, why is it doing that? Well, that's okay. Just stop doing that then. Okay. I have no idea why it's snapping so hard to that right angle. Okay, let's maybe, okay. Okay. Let's just make that go away for a second. This is why people hate the paths in Planet Zoo. Let's try that again. Okay, now it's working. So the way most people lay their paths is they're going to come along and we're going to go like this. We're going to have length on one, probably have angle snapping turned on, and we're just going to kind of go around kind of like this, and it's rather boring. I'm going to turn angle snap off. I'm going to turn length up to 5. Now, look what I can do. I can move this any old way that I want. So I want this to kind of respect the terrain, the topography here. So we're going to come up into this section, which is going to be our Rocky Mountain Wild area. We're going to curve through the mountains here. Going to come around to uneven. Why? No, it isn't. It isn't. Okay, there we go. Maybe. Okay. Well, sometimes this happens. The trick with the paths in Planet Zoo is to not fight with them. The more you fight with them, the more frustrated you're going to get, the more annoyed you're going to get, and in the end, the path system is going to win. So this is going to be the main loop of the zoo. I always like to do my zoos in kind of a loop like that. Alright, so we Rocky Mountain Wild over here, Black Forest over here, and then we're going to have 2 offshoot paths into our Arctic region up here. So I'm just going to bring this path up into here. Curve this around, kind of letting it do what it wants. Is that too small? No, I think it's fine. And then right up in here is going to be the Asian Highlands section. And I do want that to be nice and hilly and kind of rocky. Now, these are our main arterial paths. This is where everybody's going to walk, all the guests, so we want those to be nice and wide. Now, I'm going to drop the width down to 6 and put in some narrower paths. I always want to curve them, make them kind of organic. I'm going to fit habitats and facilities around these paths. Rather than trying to force the paths to conform to what I want, I'm going to kind of let them do their thing and work around them. It's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. But I find doing it this way works better than trying to fight it. Now we're going to come across here below this ridge. And I did kind of draw out what I'm working on paper, but I'm not adhering really strongly to it. Again, I'm kind of just letting the paths sort of do what they do. And I find this comes out into a really nice, organic, fairly usable pathing system. So already that's starting to look pretty good. We're just going to drop a path over here. Now, one thing everybody hates is the gaps in the path. When you try to do a plaza, and then you end up with a gap like this in the path. These gaps are not a problem, they are an opportunity. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to turn that into a planter. It's going to add a little bit of depth and a little bit of realism into the path system, because real life zoos don't have perfect pathing. Go on Google Earth. If you can't go to your local zoo, go on Google Earth and Google Maps and just walk around some virtual zoos, real world zoos in a virtual way. Zoo Tampa has a great walkthrough. So does, I think San Francisco's pretty good. There's a few others that have some really, really good, highly detailed Google Maps Street View walkthroughs. And just look at the pathing system. Zoo Tampa, they have all these little gap planter things all over the place, and it's really nice. And you know what? It breaks up the flow of traffic, so you don't get these big, gobs of people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to smooth out these connections just a little bit. Again, using that same trick from earlier, that's how I did that. Where we have the junction, I'll come in, left click to add a segment, right click to take that away, and then it has smoothed it out. Continue doing that. There is a limit on how far you can push this before it will kind of freak out. Not quite to that point yet, but we're going to get there real fast. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just smooth these out. Has these little wider bits here. Not going to worry about right there. I'm going to come in right here, create a little, intentionally create a little gappage in these paths. It seems counterintuitive, but it breaks them up and it makes it more organic, more fun, and more realistic. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Let's see. Bring that length back up. Yeah, we'll just bring it up to 4 here. Pretty good. Alright. So that is working pretty well. I'm going to kind of leave it like this just for now. I'm actually going to make this go back to daylight. Just so I can actually see what I'm doing. I forgot I had turned the time back on. I was waiting for the snow to melt. And sometimes it does kind of weird things when you try to do this. But that worked well. Alright, so that is the basic layout of the pathing for Northern Lights Zoo. In some specific areas, I may replace this, I may tear it out, I may start over, just because it doesn't quite work out the way that I want it. There's no harm in doing that at all. I'm also going to put in 2 rides, well, 3 transport rides. One's going to be a little train that takes you through the Black Forest area. Another's going to be a gondola taking you up into Asian Highlands, and then either another gondola or maybe another type of... What type of rides do we even have? Like monorail, riverboat. Okay, possibly just 2 gondolas or maybe a monorail. Up into Arctic shores as well, because those are rather long walks. I think that would be kind of a fun thing to have. Or maybe I'll just do 1 and put a station right here, and then, yeah, I might actually do that. Okay, so I had the idea of having 2 different rides, one going to Asian Highlands, the other going to Arctic shores, and kind of like this V, but now looking at it, I think I'll just put 1 station here, 1 station up here, and that will simplify things. Oh, so very much. All right. That is how I lay out the basic paths for a new zoo. So next up is going to be getting the first habitat animal in. As soon as I decide on what that's actually going to be, we'll bring you back. All right, let's get in here and get some penguins in this zoo. So first animal here right at the front is going to be the king penguins. Thought about doing the African penguins. I don't think they'll quite work. They're just not the right temperature range of animals that we're looking for. So one thing I have done, I did this off camera because this took several hours, was to go through, use this workshop item here, these size references, to go through and plan out the entire zoo. So you can see over here in Rocky Mountain Wild, we have space for a bison. There will also be pronghorn in there, wolf, cougar, moose, grizzly over here, beaver right here, over in the Europe section. So everything is labeled with the approximate size of the habitat as well as what animal is going to go in there. This way, if I happen to take a break from this, I can come back to it and not forget where I was going to put stuff, because I tell you what, ADD brain takes over, and I may have had a great plan. I may have even worked it out on paper, but once you get in here and start, placing paths and stuff, that paper guide kind of goes out the window. You don't know how many times I've taken a break from a zoo, come back to it, and could not for the life of me remember what I was trying to do. So this prevents that. So let's get in here with our penguins. So I want to have some underwater viewing as well as some above ground viewing for the penguins. So this section right over here is actually going to be it's going to be the underwater viewing section here, or the above ground underwater viewing section, I should say. So we're just going to curve that kind of like, no, we're going to curve that kind of like that. There we go. So that'll go like that. Now to make this work, I'm going to take the standard glass, connect that up. Now, if I select this entire thing, I can raise this up. And yeah, let's put it at about 4. And now I can fill this with water. Just like that. And now we have we have some underwater viewing, above ground underwater viewing for our penguins. I also want to have a little section that goes down, kind of underground underwater viewing. So we're going to have 2 of those, which is going to be quite interesting here in a second. So the rest of the penguin facility is going to be, most of this is going to be the management building. So it'll be kind of like this. I'm just using the null barrier to define it. Just to define the edge, it'll actually be an actual built-up building. Okay, let's try to make the underwater viewing work. I'm going to start with the terrain. And I want them to have a nice deep pool here. So we're going to have kind of 2 sections. We're going to have a little bit shallower section right here. There'll be a waterfall right here to kind of join those 2 areas. And then this section down here will be the deep pool. And I want that to be quite deep. Make that a little bit deeper over here. And then we're going to come and smooth this side significantly. This is where the penguins are going to come in and out, so we want them to actually be able to do that. Alright, let's see if I can get the pathing to behave with this. So I want to smooth this pretty significantly. I'm going to start down here at the bottom. I have flattened terrain turned on. I'm going to keep angle snapping on. So we get to right here. We're going to go up, maybe up. There we go. Well, that's just no. Okay, we're going to do this. And now it connects. Now it connects nicely. Now I should actually be able to get rid of these two sections here. And kind of, maybe I can make them connect, maybe. Probably not. Let's smooth that. It should, okay, if I take off flattened terrain, it should want to connect. It does not. Awesome. There we go. There we go. All right. Paths are a pain in the ass. They are. But once you get them to work for you, they really work. Okay, so can we go like that? Is that... Oh, that is very steep. So no real accessibility here. Let me actually back this out a lot. Back into the terrain. Let's fix this a little bit here. And this is a process of just fiddling with it until it works, until you get it to the point that you're satisfied with it. That's a pain, but it's how the paths work in this game. Okay, wrong button. There we go. Just want to smooth that really nicely. Okay, is it too steep? You know, that's not bad. I think we're going to call that acceptable. Then, while we're here on this side, I want to get... Actually, I want to route this a little bit in a different direction. I want to come over here. Well, that made it worse. Let's see if we can do it this way. Terrain modification failed. I love that. Love terrain modification failed. Okay, come like that. If you hold control, it'll let you have to take off flat terrain. If you hold control, it'll let you place the path independent of it wanting to snap to additional paths. I'm gonna get this right up against the edge of our little viewing area here. So that didn't quite work out. I'm actually gonna come right here then. And I'm gonna turn off angle snap because I want this to be a really organic path in here. You can use an option called snap alongside barrier in this case. Let's see if that will work. Yeah, kind of, sorta. Sorta, maybe? Okay. Yeah, actually, okay, so snap alongside barrier is very useful. So we'll use snap alongside barrier. I'm gonna actually remove the pathing in here and kind of redo it with that setting. I think that'll make it just a little bit. Oh, come on. No, 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 no. We're actually gonna make the turn here. Maybe. So this part right here is gonna be tricky. Let's see if it will actually, you know, it's kind of gonna want to work here. Okay. There. There. That works. That's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine right now. Paths raise my blood pressure sometimes. Okay, better. That's not better. Oh, Lord, what did we do? Flatten terrain. Better. Ah, much better. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave that alone and never, ever, ever touch that again because, yeah. All right, let's get the barriers in for the rest of our little underwater viewing here. So I want the barrier to be as close to the side as I can possibly get it, as close to the path as I can possibly get it. Right up against it. Turn angle snap off. Turn curve sections on. Okay, so we've kind of neglected one side. Is this going to be... Okay, this is just going to be a dead end because there's no way I'm going to try to make the path go all the way up there. Okay. Decisions have been made. Let's see if I can get this to connect to this here. Yes, actually. Okay, cool. Now I have to raise this all up. I just want to get it even. Okay, I don't know why it does that. It just does that on occasion. Okay, get all of these in here. And make that connect right there. Now, let's put some water in here and see if this actually works. I'm going to turn on auto paint. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's actually quite good. Yeah, acceptable. Totally acceptable. So now, I can fix the barriers here. Make them level. No, don't want to do that. Not this. I just want this level with the top. I want all my tops to be level here. I don't know why it's doing that. Just another fun frontier bug. So making sure that your barrier tops are level is one thing that will go a long way toward making your zoo look polished and finished. Okay, now stick a habitat gate on here. Alright, pretty much ready. Yeah, this is gonna work well. Now, of course, down here, I'll have to build that out and make it not terrible. So right now, really, really rough. I mean, so rough. But let's get into our construction pieces, turn off blueprints, and I want some concrete. So now, as update 1.8, concrete is FlexiColor. Concrete being FlexiColor is amazing. So I want this to be lined up with the gate. If I had placed the gate first, I could have had this whole habitat actually align with the grid, but I didn't do that, so I didn't think to do that. I got a new mouse and it's still doing that thing where it just, maybe it's just my hand, just double clicks on crap randomly. Let's see. And we want to have a little bit of an indoor facility here for the penguins. This will be like their indoor kind of day room area. Have things like, you know, nest boxes and whatnot over here. Put some keeper staff facilities in here. I always like, whether I'm doing a franchise or a sandbox zoo, is to have keeper huts, keeper facilities. Put that over here because otherwise they'll yell. Yeah, like that. A keeper hut and a staff room, just the small ones outside each habitat. This makes it so that the staff will actually do their jobs, which is a good thing. We want the staff to actually do their jobs. I'm gonna turn off snap alongside barriers. What? Why don't you like this? I probably have flat terrain on, don't I? Yes, I do. Generally, if the paths are not behaving when they should be, and you're not trying to do anything like super complicated with them, it's probably because you have a setting turned on that you're not aware of. In that case, I had flat terrain turned on. Let's put in a floor. Now, one thing I absolutely can't stand is when guests and staff are swimming in, you know, up to their ankles in the floor. So if you just move that down, in this case, it's going to snap perfectly to just over the floor. If it didn't, you would change the grid height. If you absolutely have to, you can place your floor and then split it from the group. And then manually adjust it so that it's just barely visible above the ground. Okay. Looking good. Put that there. There. Yeah, kind of like that. I want to be sure that the penguins can go in and out of here. Alright. And then we need to connect our path to the rest of the path system. We'll just come right through here. around the outside. And I'm actually seeing that this part of the path here is unnecessary, so I'm going to get rid of it. We don't need a staff path right up, or a guest path right up against the building, because, you know, there's no point for that. So let's just run that like that. Run the staff path right over there. I always use the purple one because I like it better. All right. It's not really complete yet. It's kind of bare bones. But now I can get rid of our guides. One thing I want to do here with this part of the barrier, this is going to be very important, otherwise you're going to get a really nasty alarm every time an animal crosses this. You want to go into the barrier settings and turn off habitat perimeter. Now they can go across it without it, you know, yelling at you. And I want to lower this down. Oh, it's going to cooperate, yay, till it's just at the height of the water. There we go. Go like that. And like that. So the penguins are going to have an infinity pool. Just because I want them to have an infinity pool. Alright. One thing I want to do before I get some animals in here is I want to close the zoo. I don't want guests right now. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to have to place trash cans because I haven't done that. So I don't want them to litter everywhere. Okay. Let's get some penguins in here. We're gonna go King Penguin. And this is Sandbox. I'm just gonna buy every single one. And then I'm gonna refresh it and I'm gonna buy every single one. I don't care about stats. I don't care about fertility. I really don't. There will be no breeding. This is just a strictly creative build. I'm gonna take them all and we're gonna send them to zoo and then we're gonna unpause the game and then we're gonna hire some staff because I kind of forgot to do that. So let's get some caretakers in here. I feel like 4 or 5 of them and a keeper. 2 keepers. No, just 1. Get a mechanic because otherwise it'll yell at me for not having a mechanic. Security and a veterinarian. Okay, now we have staff. And while we're waiting for our penguin delivery, let's get rid of, okay. We're getting alerts and stuff. That means I haven't turned on my sandbox settings. So just hit this little, you know, game controller thing over here. I'm gonna go creative preset. One thing I'm going to turn on, and that is food spoiling. The reason I'm going to turn on food spoiling is because if you don't, at least this was a pre 1.8 bug, and I'm going to assume it's still going on because I didn't see anything about it in the change notes. If you don't enable this and food happens to get placed in the habitat in a spot where the animal can't exactly reach it because the pathing is bugged out, yeah, you'll get all these notifications saying that all your animals are starving, even though it's sandbox and welfare is turned off and dying is turned off, and it just won't stop. If you turn on food spoiling, the food that cannot be reached by the animal will spoil, the keeper will remove it, and they will bring new food. Okay, let's get in here and fix this up. So I want to get rid of all of this here, all the grass. Let's actually paint this with rock. It'll match that concrete just a little bit more. And here come our penguins. A little sand there. I'm going to get into our nature tab, turn blueprints off, and I'm going to use the aquatic faux rocks. Flexicolor is amazing. I'm going to make them kind of light gray, just to kind of match the color of the concrete. turn on random rotation, so that way it kind of does my job for me. All right. We've got penguins. Let's look at our height map, make sure that they can actually get everywhere. Obviously, they can't get into their little infinity pool yet. They will. Let's throw some enrichment in here for them. Penguin. Where's our underwater feeder? Should be plenty deep enough. Yes, plenty deep enough. I was gonna be mad if this wasn't deep enough. It's like, no, it's deep enough. I'm probably gonna move that because I need to put stairs there. Let's see, what else do we have for them? Let's get my ducky. And block of frozen fish. Put that in there. And throw a food tray in there as well. Okay. Nice, we got a little enrichment. Are they already using it? Yes, they are. Nice. This is probably way bigger than this needs to be, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just let it be big, because I'm going to cram this full of rocks and stuff anyway, so. He just swim through the rock there. Yes, he did. Let's get our little stairs in here. They're very, very cute. I do love having them in game. I'm so glad we got animals like this finally. All right. Now we've got our little guys here. Let's get them a little stair step up to their infinity pool. Let's put that over here. Thing, if you're using the advanced duplicate tool, you will want to turn off random rotation if you're trying to get something like really precise, like this. Alright, penguin staircase. Now there are a few zoos out there that do have penguins at the front of the zoo. One of them is, I want to say Woodland Park Zoo? Might be wrong in that. It might be Oregon, but I think it's Woodland Park. Woodland Park Point Defiance. I'm gonna say Woodland Park Zoo, the one in Tacoma. No, they're whatever. Woodland Park Zoo, wherever they have to be in Washington State. They have penguins at the front. They have Humboldt penguins, but it's a nice exhibit. You walk in, make a right turn, and there's a whole bunch of penguins waiting for you. You get right up close to them. It's really cute. It's very nice penguin habitat. I do believe somebody has already recreated it on the workshop. If you wanted to go check that out, I'm sure you can find it. Okay, let's see if they can use that. Come here. They can, but they can't get into here yet. Alright, let's make it so they can get into here. Let that overlap the path a little bit. I kind of like that. Okay, now they can use it. But now they can use their whole habitat. I like this. Can they actually get out of here? Oh, let's kind of mess with this a little bit. Make this a little bit wider. Yeah, they like that a lot better, I think. Cool. Oh, they're so cute. Alright, so let's finish this out here. Lots and lots and lots of fake rocks. Just so many fake rocks. Alright, so just looking at it from different angles, kind of filling in the gaps here. Very loud penguins. Let's see what else we have. We'll probably just jam a few of those in there. Let's see if they can still get up there. No, they cannot. I've destroyed their ability to get up there. Cool. Alright, let's fix that. Let's see if I can just kind of bring some flat rocks around this way. Let's see if that made it so they can get up there. Yes, it did. Oh, nice. They can get up on that stuff too. Perfect. Aw. Let's stick some enrichment up there so that they'll actually go up there. What do I want to put in there? Bubble machine. Yeah. There. We don't have to really look at it. Now they'll actually go up there. Alright. More fake rocks. Alright, I love using this rock tunnel here as like ways to disguise the entryway. With king penguins, I'm not actually sure if they're burrowers or if they lay their eggs out in the open. I think it's actually the latter, so they probably wouldn't have nesting boxes the way that Humboldt penguins or African penguins would. African penguins are straight up burrowers, so I'm kind of surprised they weren't added to the animals that can use the burrows, at least not yet. I assume they probably will be. I expect that list to be expanded quite rapidly, just the same way they did with the underwater swimming, the deep diving. And as you're building, just take a second to kind of get back from it, look at what you've made, you know, admire it, decide if it's looking like something that you're happy with. And I'm pretty happy with this rock facade. Came together really quickly. I mean, really quickly. But I like it. It's turning out well. So let's keep going with it. Start to build out this area along the path a little bit. Even though I'm not going to have guests in the zoo pretty much at all, except for maybe like for cinematics or something. Just because they eat my frame rates. Especially once we start to get more than a few in. I might let them in just to see how they utilize this, but not right away. So with zoos, cost is always going to be a thing, so even though we're playing in Sandbox with unlimited money turned on, we want to kind of be cognizant of that. Glass, especially this thick glass, is hellishly expensive. Concrete is much, much cheaper than glass. Obviously, these concrete barriers, or these fake concrete walls, are not watertight in-game, but it would be reasonable to see in a real zoo that these, like a decorative concrete wall being used to retain the water. Usually there's going to be, it's a facade over the top of a of, you know, real concrete. But you could expect to see something like that because concrete is so much cheaper than glass. Cheaper to buy, cheaper to produce, cheaper to install. Still expensive, but not nearly to the point of massive sheets of glass. So glass is becoming more and more used in zoos, which is great. It lets you get right up close to the animals. I love seeing, you know, my favorite thing to see in zoos is like that place where you can come like right up, you know, on the other side of the glass to like a tiger or something. And the funniest thing ever is like the, you know, you see the YouTube videos of like the little kid interacting with the lion from through the glass, and it's very, very obvious the lion wants to eat that kid. They want to eat the kid so bad, they cannot get to the kid. But it's those really close encounters, letting people, especially young kids, get right up close to an animal, interact with them in a safe manner, see them up close, observe them up close. It helps to build that lifelong love for nature and that lifelong drive to want to conserve nature and want to make sure that these things are still going to be around, make sure that, you know, our future generations are gonna, they're gonna know, at least know that there are still wild tigers out there, that they're not just only found in zoos now, which, you know, there was a time, you know, not too long ago, actually, the start of this century, where ICUN and other conservation groups were projecting wild tigers were gonna go extinct completely, you know, within 20 years, and conservation efforts, some of which funded by zoos, have completely turned it around. We're actually seeing, at least with the Bengal tiger and the Siberian tiger, their numbers in the wild are going up, and going up quite well. Siberian tigers are expanding their range into China for the first time in just in decades. So very cool. All right, so they've got a little, you know, different stuff to go into back here. Not really sure the purpose of it, but whatever. Just a little spot they can go to get out of the way of the guests if they want to. They can come into here. This is their main area. I don't like how this door doesn't line up, so let's go edit barrier and move it over. Now, I broke the path. We have to unbreak the path. There we go. We unbroke the path. Sometimes the paths break. It's usually not as big a headache as most people make it out to be to just fix it. Especially for stuff like staff paths. I don't care how they look. They're utilitarian. They exist to let the staff get to places and keep, you know, the guests out. I don't care if they look a little funky, because I'm not going to look at them that closely. All right, let's get this part in here. All right. And now part of the challenge is making this section over here, this wall, not look hideous. And I'm just going to hide it with fake rocks. You know, that's kind of, that's really a good motto to have with Planet Zoo. When in doubt, hide it with rocks. Something doesn't look quite right, hide it with rocks. Path not lining up correctly, hide it with rocks. Hide it with flooring, just hide it. Fortunately, in this game, we have such a wide variety of construction pieces that it's totally doable to just, whatever's not working right, you can cover it up. You know, cover up a bad junction in a path with some flooring, and nobody will ever be the wiser. Except you, but you know, really doesn't matter that much. I'm kind of a perfectionist, but you know, if I can't see it, I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm going to forget about it because yay, ADD. All right, so that is looking nice. I'm getting down here at guest level to kind of look, take in the view from what their level would be. Because even though I really don't care for the guests in this zoo, in this game, we are building for them, you know, first and foremost. So I'm gonna go down here. I'll probably cover this over because I think it'll be a better viewing experience if it's covered. This might be the place in the zoo where you get mugged. Now that I'm thinking about it, if I'm gonna cover this in, it's one way in, one way out. This is the place where you get mugged. Alright, so I have been talking for more than an hour at this point. I think I'm gonna finish up the fine details on this off camera. If I do anything that's like game changing, I'll definitely bring you back and give you an idea of what it was. But I think at this point, this habitat is mostly done. Fairly simple. Oops. Let's not block the path off. Sometimes I get carried away. Like, yeah, like that. That works. Yeah, this is the mugger place. This is, yeah. So I'm just gonna fill in gaps, random rocks. All this in here is gonna get filled in. I don't think that needs to be shown on camera because it's literally the same technique I've been using for the entire thing. I'm gonna fill in these gaps here. Maybe do something with this wall. Maybe I'll use some of our decals on it. Yeah, all right. So I think that is going to be it for this episode. Do need to still put a roof on the staff building or on the penguin building. I will do that as well. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. It's gone quite long. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you'd like me to go more in depth into certain things that I'm doing, please let me know because I do intend this to be a tutorial on how to make a really spectacular looking sandbox zoo. So if you'd like to see that, just drop a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see. I will try to include it. Leave a like if you've enjoyed this episode. If you're not subscribed, please do so and hit that bell notification to be notified when I release a new video. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.